Welcome, everyone. My name is Sarah, and this is my sister.
Hi, my name is Emily.
Your name is Emily. We are two Gen X sisters who are actual Minnesotans and actual sisters who grew up watching Little House on the Prairie, and we're going to go step by step through every episode, or as many episodes as we want to before we get bored with this. Did we decide on a podcast name?
What did we say? Podcasters, little sisters podcast in Prairie.
Little podcast on the Prairie. How about that one?
I don't know. We'll have to.
Okay.
It's a work in progress.
It is. It's a work in progress. It depends also on our graphic designer, what she can come up with. But I do enjoy
sometimes it takes her a while.
Yeah.
It takes her a while.
So Little House, Little Podcast on the Prairie. A little background about us. We are indeed sisters. I am the oldest. Emily is the middle sister. We have a younger sister named Swaz, who is so jealous.
I think for this, you should call her something different.
Something different? Like Susan?
Boozin.
Okay. So Boozin, who is so jealous that we're doing this. I mean, it just tears her up inside that we're doing this. But she was never a fan to begin with of Little House on the Prairie.
There is a general rule with shows in our family, which you need to explain it.
Well, it's things can either no three sisters, like none of us can all like one thing at the same time, except there are a couple exceptions, and those exceptions are Mr. Rogers.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Anything Muppet related.
For the most part, yes.
Anything Muppet related.
Yes.
Those, that's fine. All three of us can like that. But it's either going to be a Swaz and Em show, or a Swaz and Sarah show, or a Sarah and Emily show. You get how it works. You know, so this one was never at the same time. So this one was a me and you show. And we watched it because I'm 47 years old and you are
25
years old.
Yes.
And so we watched it in real time. So this episode, we are starting with the pilot episode, season 1, episode 1. This is the pilot, and boy, howdy, this was a doozy. This had
a whirlwind, a little of everything.
It really did. It had everything. Emily, when was the last time you had seen this episode?
Oh, gosh. Well, I really revisited, and I started from the very beginning during COVID, which was a very good time to do this. And I started from the beginning, and I watched, I think, up until the end. So, a couple of years ago, this episode it's a lot. It's a lot.
It is. It's a lot. I almost felt like watching this, like this could have been 4 episodes. As opposed to one.
Yes.
Like they decided to throw everything to the wall to see what stuck.
Yes. And I think they really wanted to get picked up. I think
that's true.
They wanted to do a little of everything to make sure they secured their spot.
That's very true. And something very interesting is 2024, this is the 50th anniversary of this show being on the air, which is weird, because then that also made me think about it. Do you know what else is going to be 50 years old in October?
You?
No, I'm 47, Emily. No.
Okay.
It's you should know this. October 25th.
Oh, is that my parents' wedding anniversary?
Yes, and they're also my parents too. They're also my parents too.
No, there is
proof.
Concrete proof.
There
isn't. Nope. Nobody saw Mom pregnant with you.
Yeah.
I mean, we could be siblings other ways. It's fine.
No.
You were raised with us. It's fine.
I was. But so 1974 was the year Mom and Dad got married, and coincidentally, also the year Mom and Dad became Minnesotans.
Oh, okay.
And also the year that the Ingalls on TV became Minnesotans as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's start with the pilot episode. So this begins, the opening scene is Ma and Pa Ingalls and the little girls are all huddled in the snow. They're leaving the big wood in Wisconsin. There are relatives I had never seen before in my entire life.
Exactly. Yep. I noticed that too.
Yeah. They reference an Aunt Ruby,
Yeah,
which
never hear about her again.
ever. And she sounds kind of harlotty. I mean, who was named Ruby in the 1800s? But I don't know. And
I like the name, though. I love the name.
I know. And so they're saying goodbye to their grandparents. Pa is loading them all up in a wagon. The little girls are all wearing toaster koozies, crocheted toaster koozies on their head. So you know that it's winter time.
Yes. Yep.
And you're buckling in. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
But did you hear the reason they left?
Because the government said they could move.
No.
Why?
No, because there was not enough game to hunt there, which made me think, okay, so they're leaving, but the rest of the people aren't?
Yeah.
Like the rest of their family is going to be there
and starving?
Starve?
They're just going to come back to just skeletons?
It left me with a lot of questions from the very beginning.
Yeah. I forgot about that. And it's like, okay, it's the big wood in Wisconsin. There's got to be a lot of game. I mean, and where they moved, let's be frank, it didn't look like there was a lot of animals there.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I thought was so weird is they just leave their house. Like they pack up the wagon and they just leave their beautiful home for who?
Well, and also looking back, that house was so much better.
It was so much nicer.
Yeah. A little prairie that they settled on.
And this was also the beginning of the major issue that I had throughout the entire series. And I forgot about this childhood trauma until I started watching this again. Why didn't they put Jack in the effing wagon?
Oh, I have that too. Excuse my French, but that pissed me off.
Yeah.
I have some respect for Jack.
I know.
Because he's the best watchdog.
Exactly. Ever. Pa even says he's the best watchdog.
Yes. And there was, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here, but this really upset me because I am on Team Jack all the way. There was a few scenes where Jack is running by the wagon.
Yeah.
And he's weaving in and out of the wagon.
Yes.
Did you see that?
Yes. Dangerous. I was so ticked off. It really upset me. But this feeling stays with me through this whole episode because, you can't tell me that dog didn't get tired. He had to have gotten tired. The family was in the wagon, but Jack had to run behind them the whole time. So that feeling stayed with me throughout the entire time because I'm Team Jack, the best watchdog in the world.
Yes. And he's adorable. And
he kind of reminded me of Smokey, our dog.
Yeah.
Kind of. We had a Lhasa Apso when we were growing up that he kind of reminded me of.
Yeah. Never got to come downstairs though.
Very
Only
rarely.
On special occasions.
Yeah, very rarely. So then the scene moves on. They're traveling apparently to go to Kansas. I did not remember this part, but that's where the government said they could have land. They're switching out horses. And that's when Pa drops the bombshell that their new horse they're going to have is going to have a baby. Yeah.
Which I was thinking too, wouldn't that be a lot of work for a pregnant horse?
Yeah.
To go on a journey like that? Why did they drop off their other horses? Because they were tired.
Yeah.
That's picking up.
That's why. Yeah. So coincidentally, my husband, Jeff, who you've met a few times, grew up on a farm in Waseca, Minnesota, and his family farm was a way station like that where you could trade in your horses for fresh horses. Yes, it was like
I've never talked to him that long to actually.
I know. You've never feigned interest enough to find out about that. But yes, his family farm and like the whole first level of their farmhouse was like a boarding house, like a general store.
What?
Tell me that's not your dream come true. Yeah. So that is something people would do. Weary travelers would trade their horses that have been traveling for a long time for new ones.
Can I break for a second?
Yeah.
Barking in the background?
Yeah, it's Walnuts.
Oh, yes, but I feel like I need to introduce him.
Oh, you should. Yes, you should.
Yes. My dog is accompanying me during these podcasts, and his name, he's a toy poodle. His name is Walnut Grover.
Yes. Walnut Grover. Yes.
Mhm.
Otherwise known as
So,
Wally or Walnuts.
Wally, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, walnuts, yes.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah, he's my,
he's
my little
he's
Jack.
your most favorite son.
Yes, he always is my favorite son. And I would put him in the wagon.
Right.
Oh,
Well, Walnuts is so little, he would have to be put in the wagon.
Yeah,
As
I
he
would have him in the
as he
front
would
back,
trot
actually.
behind the wagon in his little diaper.
Yeah.
His little pee diaper he has to wear.
Yeah.
So this
That's
is
fine.
we come to the first heartbreak of the episode, the first major part of the episode where I have to be honest, I was shedding a tear out of anger. This is when they encounter basically what looks like a Caribbean river. Like this, the deepest, bluest sea of a river you've ever seen. And Pa decides he has to ford the river, do it at that exact moment.
It was a real Oregon Trail moment.
It really was.
Real Oregon Trail moment, yes.
Like they couldn't wait. They couldn't even wait to put Jack in the wagon. They couldn't wait to fasten their bonnets. They had to do it now.
Yep, This I knew what was coming.
I forgot.
And I'm going to be honest, I didn't watch parts of it because I once again was going to be super pissed off.
Yeah. It was tough because you see Jack follow the wagon, jump in this Caribbean sea, and then you don't see him anymore. And then, there's other danger because the wagon wheels get stuck and Pa has to dive under the wagon to unstick the wheel. Laura's crying like a baby because Jack is gone.
And Carrie's sitting there doing nothing, not saying
Carrie.
anything. Like
Stupid
freaking Carrie.
Stupid Carrie, who I do have to say has major third child energy.
She does. Yeah, she's the boozing for sure.
Just every time that Kara would go to Carrie, I would just roll my eyes and be like,
I actually have on here stupid Carrie.
Oh my gosh. Wagon. So do I. In my notes, I actually write stupid Carrie.
Wagon.
Yeah. Stupid Carrie. She brings nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing. And certainly no dialogue.
No.
I hope she didn't get paid.
No. Well, and it was two of them. They were twins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Like Sydney and Lauren Greenbush. So the river is rushing.
Yeah, you did your research.
Well, because I remember growing up on the titles, I was like, even stupid Carrie has a stupid long name. Why is her name Sydney Lauren Greenbush?
I do remember that too. I do on the title. Yes.
And then I remembered it was like a whole Full House moment because they had to have twins.
Because Mary-Kate, Ashley Olsen, they had that on the Full House.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and it took me a while too, and there's no internet back then that you could.
No, so I mean, I figured it out on myself because I'm incredibly intelligent. So the river's rushing. Ma is yelling. Why is Jack still on the other side? Charles jumps in. Pa then collapses. They get all to the other side. Pa collapses. Dramatically. This is the other thing too that I've noticed. I never realized how Pa loves a dramatic moment.
He does. Yeah.
He brings the drama in this episode.
And he loves to just have his sweaty body.
Yes, he does.
The ladies. He wants to be seen as the heartthrob.
Yeah.
He sees himself as.
Yeah, which, their number one, demo at the time was children. And children weren't thinking that. But I suppose they figured children's mothers were watching.
That's
as
true.
well.
Yeah, they needed to get, I understand that. Yeah.
So,
Times are different then.
So now it's nighttime. This is the other thing too. Vague tom-tom noises in the background.
Oh, I don't think I picked up.
I did. I wrote vague tom-tom noise. What?
Already? They went there already?
They did. We're basically half an hour into this, and they already went there. So we know what that means.
Okay, yeah.
We know where that's going.
Do, for sure.
Laura's convinced that Jack drowned, and she starts to cry. And then this is the part I have written in all capital letters, underlined 3 times. All of this could have been avoided.
I 100% agree. Yep. Laura. And Laura had a right to sit there. She was a very middle child.
She really was.
That really, yes. I would do that too. I would not I would just make my house right there.
Well,
By the
right. Like,
river,
and then
so
you're
we
like, I'm
felt-
never moving. This is where I'm going to die.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
dog is dead. The best watchdog in the world. But
Yeah.
she does the second best thing, and then she just decides to walk in the hot sun next to the wagon and won't get in.
Did you catch there was a skincare moment?
Yes,
there.
I know exactly. When Ma tells her to wear her bonnet or her skin will get leathery.
Yes, I thought of that. I thought of you, and I thought, no wonder her skin is beautiful. Ma's skin is
Gorgeous.
But I mean, it was like, and Laura did have major sun damage as the seasons went on. I mean, as a fair-skinned redhead as she was, she should have listened to Ma. That she really should have.
She should have. Yeah. You love a good skincare moment.
I do.
If you were there, if you had a remembrance book, you would. It would be all about skincare.
The skincare I did on the prairie.
People, and asking people what their routines were.
Yeah.
And
asking them to tell it to me longer. Yes.
Yes.
So now they've been in Kansas. They're actually in Kansas already. They've been there for 4 days. Joy has left the children, according to Ma. Joy,
I noticed that.
Joy has,
but not Carrie though.
No, because she's too stupid to figure it out.
Too dumb. Yeah, she doesn't have joy. She has nothing to give.
Brings nothing to the table.
Yes.
But Pa says they're getting 160 acres free from the government. And then all of a sudden, there's a rustle in the woods and the tom-tom music. And they lead you to believe it's going to be a band of savages. And I am saying that not to be problematic, but just because that's the way that they would have said it back in the time. But it's not. It's Jack. So Jack comes running. He's, Jack is crying. Laura's crying. Pa is crying.
Jack actually was swearing at them.
Yeah.
Like, to be honest.
Like, he was swearing. I'm crying at this point. I'm absolutely sobbing. And then, it's that moment when you go, I knew they weren't going to let Jack die. How did he do this? He's a wonder dog. And then, Pa plays the fiddle.
Yes, Pa plays the fiddle.
Yes.
Yeah. Which means everything's going to be okay.
Yes, exactly. It is. Okay. Well, yeah. And Pa, there is another dramatic Pa moment where he walks off and he gets all like sulky and sad and he blames himself. And frankly, he should.
He should. Yes, absolutely. It was a major parenting fail.
Yeah. And then there's like a weird little interlude where Mary, who honestly was never my favorite. She didn't
bring much this episode either.
No.
She was really,
I mean, as an oldest sister, I really struggle with this because I never connected with her. But she does have an older sister moment because Laura starts calling some bird a dicky bird or something.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And she tells her not to use baby talk and that it's actually called a dick sizzle.
Oh, yeah, that's that reminds me of 7th graders don't wear elastic waistbands.
They don't wear elastic waistbands.
Yeah.
They
7th graders don't wear elastic waistbands. And then also you did tell me one time that you hadn't farted in 3 years.
Yeah.
And I think that I believed you.
You did. I was that good at it.
It's medically possible.
Yeah, I was.
I don't think it's medically possible, but
yeah. But the elastic waistband, I mean, you really should have listened to that and insisted that Mom got you your bows.
But seriously, though, who doesn't love a good elastic
Well,
waistband?
now that's all I wear.
Yeah.
Now it's
like
that's
awful.
That's all I wear. So
I need to circle back a little bit because when Pa was playing the fiddle, I wrote down that Pa's curls are looking gorgeous.
Oh,
they looked really nice. It might be worth going back and looking.
Okay.
But I love great curl formation.
Yeah.
Just
he
like
did have it.
Skincare. Yeah.
And the interesting thing, I remember, like back in the day when this was still on the air and like there was Us Magazine and People Magazine and everything. Michael Landon did like to think of himself as a heartthrob. And
he did, yeah.
Well, I think he was being told that.
Well, he probably
Somebody was telling him.
Yeah. But he insisted on keeping his hair long for the show. he basically, and I totally remember this. I think I read this like in People magazine on the potty, I'm sure. That he saw his hair as his strength and power, like Samson in the Bible.
I do too.
No, he really did, Emily.
No, I see my,
You see your hair as a strength of
absolutely.
Okay. As a symbol of strength. All right.
If you had my curls, you don't. So you don't know.
That's true.
I do.
That's true. I wasn't blessed with curls, so I have no idea. So so then Pod makes some comment about how Independence, Missouri is 50 miles away or something. So Ma wants to see a town. Pa gets dramatic and pouts and walks away. He calls them over to look at the land. Everyone goes running, and then he says, "We're home." So he decides that this is where they're going to stake out their house. Yeah. They're in Kansas.
Which did you think? I didn't think that was, like, I would not.
No. Right. I mean, that area, like, they left Wisconsin, which is like overabundance full of like fish and deer and bear and what even else was saber-toothed tigers.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Yes.
And they moved to Kansas where there's nothing. There's nothing.
Not even a quick trip.
No. There wasn't a Casey's Pizza. There was nothing to be found.
Although there was Mr. Edwards. Yes, that is coming up next. I have that actually in capital letters.
Yes.
They start building their house, Ma and Pa. Ma gets weak and dramatically collapses.
Yes.
It's because you know why? Because it's no work for a woman.
That's exactly what he says.
No work for a woman.
That is exactly the quote. No work for a woman. And I have to agree. Only because I couldn't do that. There's no way.
My wrists are far too weak.
Yes.
I am not built for that.
I don't have a bonnet with a brim big enough to help me with that. I mean,
I agree.
Answer to this is Pa finds them a bachelor neighbor, and that bachelor neighbor is
a big burly bachelor neighbor.
Yes, Mr. Edwards, our fave.
Yeah. Oh, I love myself, Mr. Edwards.
I do too.
He is my favorite.
He is my absolute favorite.
I always have.
I always loved Mr. Edwards. I just think he's just great.
He's fantastic. And of course, he starts to teach Laura how to spit, which Ma throws a temper tantrum.
Yeah.
She doesn't want him around the children. She doubts he's ever even been into a church. That's one of her things. You know, and then they all have stewed rabbit and dumplings for supper.
Which, I mean, sounds delicious. They have a lot of rabbit. Okay, but I wrote a note down here.
Yes.
He found Mr. Edwards to help him build the house because Ma couldn't do it. Where are they finding all the trees to build the house?
Right. Oh, that's so true.
Yeah, because it was just like prairie. There would be some trees, but I mean, they built the barn, they built the house.
Yeah.
There just were no, and they never show them cutting them down.
I mean,
that's so true. And it's not like
I'm a critical thinker.
No, that I didn't even think about that. That is such a good point.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And then I also discovered too that when Pa is playing the fiddle after they have their stewed rabbit and dumplings, Mr. Edwards is 100% dancing what we would call a jig.
Yeah, I wrote that he's a mighty fine dancer.
Oh,
I think that was great dancing.
It was great dancing. But like, if you had to describe it, wouldn't you say it was a jig?
Yeah, or sock dancing.
Sock dance, yeah.
How we used to
get our socks off.
Yeah.
We used to dance at night to get our socks off.
That's right, I forgot about that.
Just roll our feet around until our socks were fully off.
Yeah. So then Ma gets uppity. She says it's past their bedtime, which how do they know? It's been dark for hours. How do they know it's past?
That's true. I didn't see a sundial or anything.
Right. That's what I was thinking too, because I was like, how do you know, Ma? And then Mr. Edwards, this was the other thing, the other weird thing too. He just goes home in the dark. not a star in the sky, not a moon in the heavens, no mag light, flashlight to light the way.
Nothing. No, yeah, not even like any tobacco or anything.
No.
To light the way. Yeah.
No. But this
Does he even have a gun? I feel like he needs a gun.
I feel like he probably did have one. But the important thing is we get introduced to another, almost like a character on its own, as Mr. Edwards trots away. Pa plays the song Old Dan Tucker.
Oh, I love that song.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
I just love it.
Yep.
It's
It's
so
just,
good.
it's a song that makes its appearance throughout the series. Never heard it in my life except for here.
Yeah.
But it's a good.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were alive back then, you should ask Jeff if he's heard it.
I should.
He's an older man.
I should ask him if they
Write
played
down
it
and ask him.
on the farm growing up.
Yeah.
I hope they did. It's a good one.
Yeah. So Ma and Pa, so the girls go to bed. Ma and Pa fight. Ma's number one concern. God, she is just such a bring down in this episode, by the way.
Yes, she's a nag, as some people would call her.
Yeah. Like because her biggest concern is school and church. You know,
Mary wants to be a teacher.
Mary wants to be a
yes,
teacher.
that's right. And
Which honestly,
it doesn't seem like it's that hard to be a teacher back then.
no, because
like you all were teachers.
couldn't you become one at like age 11?
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it was hard. I'm sure you had to study. But I feel like, and there weren't many options for the young ladies.
No, that was pretty much it. It was either that or get married at 15 to a man named Manly.
Yes.
So, but
who's you know how you're supposed to say Almanzo?
Yeah.
It's Almanzo.
Really?
I've researched this. Yes.
Oh.
Dean Butler. Yes. He will tell you.
It's
Watch the videos.
Almanzo.
But they call him Almanzo in the show.
Yeah, but it's wrong.
Okay. So this is also the introduction to Ma's first problematic statement of the entire show.
Oh, I know.
And you know where we're going with this.
She would be canceled.
She totally would. If I wanted to live like an Indian, I'd live in a tent.
I know.
Yeah. So Ma's
the
not
difference between their house. There's not much difference. You should go look at the tent.
Right.
I'm sure they're nice.
Yeah. Well, and then Ma then says she never wants to see Indians. And Laura says, and this is when they knew what they were doing, because Laura says, then why did we move to Indian territory if you never want to see an Indian? Good point, Laura.
Yeah. Valid point.
Excellent
That's
point.
the middle child, the smart one.
And so then we get to the point too where we hear that, which is her, so the Indians are the big threat, and then we hear them, the wolves, the other big threat.
Yes, did you notice throughout the episodes that the camera work was different? Like there was, like at the very beginning, it was like when Pa was riding on the horse. It was very like choppy and riggedy.
Yeah.
And then, it was odd. But the wolf scenes, they were scary.
That was.
I am scared of wolves.
I know we're supposed to be, but I just don't find them.
You don't find them scary?
I don't. I don't know.
If one came up to your door, you'd invite it in?
I kind of feel like I would. I'm not like, I don't have that fear of wolves that I think we're all supposed to have. Huh. Interesting.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah.
How do you feel about bears?
Yeah, well, I've always wanted to see them, and we still haven't seen any on the cameras up at the cabin.
I know. But I think when we go up to the cabin the next time, I'm going to set something out for the bears, because I think everybody's showing them on their trail cameras. Yeah. I think the bears just want friendship.
I think that's it. Is that we just haven't shown them. We haven't, maybe put out like a selection of bars. Maybe some salads, some Jell-O salads, cookies,
spaghetti.
Yes,
I think the bears want some spaghetti.
I think so too.
Yeah.
So
maybe some wine. I don't know, boxed wine.
Oh, they would like that. So I also noticed too, so there's more wolves howling. Patty has her baby. That's an emotional moment. But the part that stuck out to me the most is when Pa decides to go hunting, he has a canteen thrown about his person as if it were a Lululemon bag. Did you notice that?
No.
Do you think
But he was, a hipster?
Yeah. Do you think that's like all the mamas, all the millennial mamas out there?
I bet.
Do you think that we should just bring back canteens instead?
Oh, it would be, like the new Stanley.
Yes.
Good. Yes.
Yeah. I think that's a really good idea.
Okay.
Maybe we should get Maggie and Alice.
Our
We should.
nieces.
Our nieces,
For
yeah.
their,
Yeah.
For
It's a whole
they would
thing.
Love it.
Yeah. So Pa was really styling. He's going hunting now, and this is where we have our first harrowing scene, and part of this too, why I'm not afraid of the wolves, is because in some of the scenes, they were clearly people's German shepherds.
Yeah, they didn't really look like wolves, but they were pacing. And that to me
Is the
yeah.
pacing
back and forth. I didn't understand why they lit them up too, like in the night.
Yeah, that's so true. They did. Okay.
And I've never I hang out in the woods all the time.
Yeah.
I've never had a pack of wolves come after me like that.
I know. I feel like, that there would be enough game for them that they wouldn't have to do this, but
far more than in Wisconsin.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. That maybe their fault. Yeah.
Yeah. So they chase after Pa. Pa's only thing he can do is just throw them the rabbits that he caught or that he shot. Just to
beautiful rabbits.
Yes.
And game. I mean, that was gorgeous.
Yeah.
It was a shame.
Wolves circle their house then because Pa goes back. The wolves are back again.
That was truly terrifying.
I don't know.
He and Laura sat outside and just watched them. Why are the wolves not attacking them?
Right. I don't get that. So it's Pa and Jack, Pa with the gun, Jack with his gun. Yes. Waiting outside and just watching while the wolves circle their house. It was like, did the wolves have a vendetta against them? Like, was there a hit out on them? I don't think.
Yeah, did their wolf captain tell him to go there, like the king of the wolves?
I don't get it. Like, it's just such a bizarre thing. I didn't think wolves would really go after a family like that.
Yeah, do wolves eat humans? Because I've seen bears eat humans. Because I've seen the grizzly man.
Yeah. Oh.
I've seen the grizzly man, and that was definitely.
I mean,
I've never seen the wolf man.
Yeah, like if they didn't have anything else to eat. But this brings the main thing, because this whole time their door to their house has only been a quilt.
So, yes. Well, mine is here now. It's
No, yeah, actually, and as I'm doing this in my recording studio, which is a closet, and I do have
you've got
a quilt around me.
Wondering what that. Okay.
Yeah, can you see it? Yeah. Yeah, there's a quilt. Yeah. So Pa decides that he's going to build an actual real door. This is really where they could have just stopped this episode. Like,
I agree. Yeah.
Because it gets really long. At this point, you're like, okay. I mean,
just weird and weirder.
Yeah, it gets weirder and weirder.
Yeah.
So, and then we have our favorite, problematic subplot. The Native Americans come running. They come to the house when Pa's gone. Pa's going to build a proper door for the family. I don't know if he went to go try and find wood. Pa's gone. The Indians come, and they were clearly just white men that they put bronzer on.
I know. It was problematic. It was
very problematic.
Yeah.
Ma gives them tobacco and bread. And then Laura spills the beans about the Indians visiting when Pa comes back, and it's a whole thing. It's a thing.
Yeah, it was a whole thing. But it's fine because Pa lied and never told Ma about the wolves. So a lie for a lie.
Yeah,
so their marriage is built on lies.
It is. Their marriage is built on a rickety house of lies.
Lies, yeah. So we'll see how far that takes them.
Yeah. And then somehow Pa gets a job to be a cowboy or something. I don't know. This was subplot C, where he goes away for a day and has to wrangle cattle.
Yeah, that was weird. But also, okay, I wrote this note that about, was this the part when Ma unwraps the fine china, the little doll?
It was about the time. Yeah.
Yeah, and now she said that made it feel like home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can buy those like when you go to the Laura Ingalls house.
For real?
I think so. Yes, I'm gonna look that up because I need one. But this leads to my question: what one item in your house makes it feel like home?
Oh my God, that is such a good question.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh my God, that is like a perfect teacher, like at the end of the book, like book club question.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, what is the one thing? And because Jeff and I have moved many, many, many times.
Yeah.
I mean, now I guess I would have to say my cats, but
that's what I mean, yeah, I have a hard time with it too.
I really do. Like, what's the one thing that I've always, a lot of the stuff we've moved from house to house.
Yeah.
Maybe the Orangina poster.
Oh yeah, that's been in every house. I was gonna say my cell phone.
But that's not like a very like it's not.
I know.
That's really, I mean, like I don't know. Like, I mean, yeah, my cell phone, but like when you think about it, like you bring your cell phone with you to a hotel, to work, to
that's true.
And that doesn't make it feel like home.
So it was a little bit deeper than you let me. But I would agree with you on your Orangina poster.
Yeah. Because it's so faded and it's but like I paid $50 to have it framed at Hobby Lobby. So
you did?
I think so, yeah. But like that was like 15 years ago.
Oh, okay.
But the one thing I just kept thinking is like, wouldn't it have been funny if like Ma was unwrapping her little porcelain doll and it was like some hideous, precious moments?
Oh, I thought you were going to say if it was broken.
No.
That's awful.
No,
yeah,
like it was precious moment. It was some awful precious moments, like a stupid blonde blue-eyed girl holding like a daisy or something.
No offense if people like them. Some people might.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But I mean, I think we can just all agree that would have been a funny moment if Ma had
it would have.
It would have been funnier if it was broken though.
That would have been. Oh God. So Pa gets to have a baby cow and the calf and the cow. And
which if you're gonna like walk home with a cow and stuff, does it just follow you? Because I feel like it's not gonna follow you. And where are the wolves then?
Right.
Just leaving that there.
I don't know. I don't really know how that...
Like, they didn't have it on a leash or anything.
No. You would think you would have to put it on a leash. This is another question for Jeff. This is another... Because they raised cattle on his farm.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
That's
I don't want to have him as a guest.
No. Maybe he can be a consultant. A pioneer times consultant.
I feel like it would be a really long-winded answer.
It would be.
Get straight to the point.
Yeah, that's true. So winter is coming. Pa heads to Independence, Missouri. We know it's winter because even though it doesn't look like it outside, the girls are wearing their crocheted tea cozies on their heads.
And it's swindy out.
It is. It's super swindy. And then the Indians again. So now we've got...
They are on their territory.
That is true. If they didn't want to have to deal with, the rightful owners of that land, then maybe they shouldn't have, stolen it. This is when Ma is alone and she's got just a shotgun and a song about Jesus. That's what's getting her through.
That's when Mark goes to work.
It's just you in a rocking chair, shotgun, and a song about Jesus.
Yeah.
And your tiny toy poodle wearing a diaper.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So Jack starts growling. Ma's prepared. I mean, they're all going to be raped and pillaged, but it turns out it's just Pa. Pa's coming home.
Yeah. What if she shot him? The whole thing would be done if she shot him. I was worried.
I know. That is true. And then I have written, oh no, the Indians have come back, white people with bronzer. So did they come back right after that? Oh yes, because this is when they speak Francais and Pa invites them in the house.
Yeah, which Ma, did she seem, okay, wait, that was later. That was way at the end, I think.
No, this is the part where Pa invites them into the house. Laura asks about the bear claw, which she says, amulette. amulet, which
No, Pa was nothing there. Pa was not there, I don't think.
he was. Oh,
No, Pa wasn't there.
I said I have Pa invites them inside.
Pa invited them inside.
Yes, because that's when he became friends. He offered them tobacco, and then the chief gave his amulet to Laura for bon fortune.
Okay.
For good luck.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I would like to point out that those Indians were just like very offensive.
It was really horrible. It was absolutely really.
It was awful, and they just did. It was the most stereotypical.
I know.
Oh, I can't.
I mean, I know. Like you could actually see like the bronzer lines, like and eyeliner. That was the one thing too. Is I have like the chief wears a lot of eyeliner.
Yeah.
But Laura does bring up. Oh, yeah, because Pa says there won't be an Indian left in the territory. The government's going to make them move. And Laura says it's not fair. They were here first. Exactly.
Yep.
Thank you, Laura.
I know, being the voice of reason.
I also wrote that because they came in the middle of the night, that Carrie was smiling when she was sleeping.
Yeah, it was like the total, like when kids try to pretend that they're sleeping, but they're smiling.
I wonder I feel like Carrie was blanket trained like the Duggars.
Because she never.
You're right. She didn't. Like, she never left. Like, she's always like, that is so true.
Yeah.
Well, the blanket training comes in handy when she has to sit in a river.
Yeah. That's true. Yes.
That's later on.
Thank goodness. Crying,
sitting in the river crying.
Yeah. So then we come
to like the baby she is.
Exactly. So then we come to the part where it is the most important part of this episode that I think all of us remember. Jack starts barking, it's snowing, and snow means Christmas.
Oh, God. Yes.
And snow also means that Mr. Edwards is on his way over. This is the part I remember just so distinctly. Mr. Edwards in his long johns, wading through the rushing river. I mean, why? He wasn't stupid. It doesn't make any sense.
I think they want, I know. I don't understand it either. Wanted him to look stupid, but we know better.
Well, we all learn in elementary school, especially being Minnesotans. You know, it takes like how many minutes to get hypothermia to die? You never take your clothes off in the snow or, don't get wet. I mean, you just know this as someone who lives in Minnesota. I mean, like the whole thing is like, I'm sure he wanted to have the plucked turkey that Ma was making. I get it, but it would have been sayonara, see you in spring. I mean, that's
or he needs to move in with them.
Exactly.
He should have moved in. He should have been the nanny. He could have.
Oh, that would have been a whole other show. Yeah, that would have been awesome.
Yes. Oh, that would be a great sitcom.
They could have been called something like Me and Mr. Edwards.
Yes. Oh, I love it.
That would have been awesome. Yeah. So he's going through the river. He shows
it was a dramatic, I also feel like he could have gone through the river a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
And not as he was really
really being dramatic.
He was taking his time.
Yeah.
So he bursts through the door and then stupid Carrie says Santa. So then Mr. Edwards starts telling a story. The girls are so excited because he's got presents with him. He starts telling a story about how he saw Santa at the saloon. And
but wait. Did you notice that Mr. Edwards is still wearing the clothes that he was freezing in?
Yes.
Why did Pa not give him? Pa has to have at least 2 sets of clothes. Like on Oregon Trail, you always had 2 sets of clothes for each person.
Oh, you did?
So I think so. If I remember correctly.
Oh, I actually think you're right.
It's recommended.
Yeah.
I think it's recommended. So I'm sure that they brought 2.
Okay, that does make sense.
So I'm sure,
or put a blanket around him. He cannot be in the cold. Yeah, in the clothes like that.
I know.
That's just awful.
It was so weird. But did you also notice too? This is something I think for our nieces for Christmas, we should give them and just see what happens. Because each girl, actually only Laura and Mary get
there's Jeff. Jeff, you can't do that. We're in the middle of a podcast.
We had some farm questions before. If you were trying to lead a cow to somewhere, would you have to put it on a leash? Like if someone gave you a cow and you have to bring it back to your farm stand, would you have to put it like on a leash, or
Like
would it
a really
notify
far
you?
Bridle or whatever?
Far away.
Like a horse bridle?
Okay, they didn't have that.
No.
Oh, just a rope?
Yeah, a rope.
No, they didn't. I don't even think he had a rope.
No.
Did he
Well,
have
you
a
just take some grass and go, here, come boss, come boss.
Maybe that's why he looked so exhausted. He didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah, that could be. That could be. And then
Yeah.
also,
Is she in here?
No. I also talked about how your family farm was actually a place where people could switch out for fresh horses.
Yes, absolutely. Supposedly, Jesse James was there, but then everybody in southern Minnesota says that.
That's true. That's
Oh,
true. And
like-
supposedly Jesse James's brother was
He
there,
was-
and your great grandmother said he was a
But he
looker.
was also on an episode of Little House on the Prairie.
Oh, well, then we'll have to
Towards the end, yeah.
invite Jeff when
Jeff could be, yeah.
when that comes back. But anyway, so
Yeah.
the little girls get a tin cup, a candy cane,
Oh, yes.
and he gives Ma some sweet potatoes.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And then the girls also get red mittens, a penny, and a cookie.
That's what we're doing from next year.
Can you imagine?
They'd be so mad at us.
They would be. They would be. Well,
But it would be a good lesson.
the
a
tin
good
cup
lesson.
would have to be a Stanley Cup.
It would
For
have to
sure.
be. Yeah.
For sure.
All the kindergartners have Stanleys.
Yep, they do. Yes, they do. So Christmas has passed. Now it's springtime. Pa gets a new plow. Then he sees fire. The family has to soak the house in water. Ma, this is the moment when that blanket training comes in handy, because Ma just has to sit
Yes.
stupid Carrie in the middle of the river.
And she just sat there
She did.
Like-
She sat
like
there
an
crying.
crying.
Yeah.
Like a little baby. Like the little baby that she is.
I did feel kind of bad though, because like, can you imagine like being those child actors, like how traumatizing that would be? Like, how do you work?
The smoke was just like, it wasn't a real fire, Sarah.
Well,
She
but
was
true,
fine.
but
The
still,
smoke was like blown in front of the camera.
that's true.
Because I was thinking during the whole thing, it was a huge fire. Like everything was catching on fire, which was ridiculous. I thought they would have all been dead immediately if any of them had asthma.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
true. That's so
If anyone
true.
had asthma.
They would be dead.
That's very true. The wheezing, that would have been horrible.
Yes. Smoke, yeah,
so-
inhalation.
Yeah. So
would
then
be
the
dead.
barn
They-
catches on
It'd
fire.
be prednisone and a nebulizer.
Yes. So then the barn catches on fire. And then, miracle of miracles, all of Ma's, not Mom's, all of Ma's prayers have been answered. It rains.
Yeah, it was. Sorry, I was just thinking of my mom who's in pacemaker surgery right now.
right. That's right.
I was wondering if maybe that she's done. Oh, okay, she's back in her room. That's funny.
Oh,
Dad
yeah, she is.
texted.
She's back in her room. Oh,
Oh.
okay.
Okay, well, that's
Good.
good to know. That's good to know. Oh, and Joji's earphone.
I'm so yeah. You were.
Okay. Nigel, please move, please. So
Nigel's a cat. Nigel's a cat.
so then we get, I'm probably just going to edit that part out, Emily.
That's fine. That's fine.
So then we hear the tom-tom drums again. Ma, then she just gets super racial and prejudicial and says that the Indians are the ones who started the fire to burn them out, which, to be fair,
I'd be fine with that.
has happened. That did happen. But then again, I kind of don't blame them because,
I don't either. And like in the end, they got this bomb ass house
yeah,
in Walnut Grove.
that's very true. That's
Yeah,
very true.
so-
Then
The end game was fine. Like it's fine.
Then for some reason I have "go to sleep, Carrie!" ! Ma yells violently. I don't remember.
Oh,
Which that's justified. I don't remember it either.
I don't remember it either.
Carrie's terrified.
Carrie's terrified.
Yeah.
But I wrote that Laura was holding Jack like a baby.
Yes.
Like a little
I
baby.
do remember that. Yes. He
Yeah.
looked like a big stuffed animal. Yes. So the next day there's still drumming because the drumming just doesn't stop. And then it does stop. And the Indians arrive, and the Indian with the eyeliner says, "You have nothing to fear." The chief saves them. So I guess it was kind of them to give them tobacco.
Yep.
Tobacco
And the bread. Yep.
Yep.
The bread.
Yep. And then we're almost done with the episode. This is, we've gone thrills and chills and spills, roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah. Ma certainly changed her tune about the Indians and Mr. Edward.
Yep. Yep.
By the
She
end of
did.
this.
She did. And then army men arrive to give them the final blow, the bad news.
Yep.
They have to move. So they've been there for a year. The Kansas tribe petitioned Washington, and they have to move. So they have to pack up and move. Pa gives...
Which I'm fine with.
I was totally fine with. Pa gives Mr. Edwards the cow and the calf and says goodbye. We all cry because we think we're never going to see
It was
Mr.
really sad. Yeah. It was
we think
really
we're
sad.
never going to see Mr. Edwards again.
And Laura.
Yeah, I thought that too.
Of course, we do see him because how could we not? He was...
Yeah, he's an icon.
Yes. And I almost want to say the star of the show.
Besides Laura, yeah.
And Jack. I mean, I would have been fine if the show had just been Laura, Jack, and Mr. Edwards.
Yeah.
So that
But
was...
did you?
What I wrote down before they get off on that wagon, I wrote that they better let Jack ride in the darn wagon.
Yes. 100%.
But guess what?
100%.
Guess what?
So let's see here. Oh my gosh. I just realized something. Apparently we just watched the pilot. We did not watch season 1, episode 1.
Oh, that's fine. We've got time.
We do. So the next episode is season 1, episode 1. And wait till you hear this name. A Harvest of Friends. After moving his family from Wisconsin big woods to Minnesota's prairie, pioneer Charles Ingalls settles on farmland by Plum Creek. So we're finally in Minnesota. At the next episode, this is when it really gets going.
Yeah.
And you know what's so weird?
Really gets good.
Yeah, it gets really good. And, and like the little thumbnail is Nils Olson, who, Nellie's father.
Yeah.
So that's great. And you know what's weird is this is categorized as a Western, this show.
Oh, okay. That, I'm okay with that.
It's just very,
Okay.
I didn't think of it that way. So we'll talk about that next. Season 1, episode 1, officially A Harvest of Friends next time. So thank you all for listening.
Thank you.
We will come up with an actual name. Little Podcast on the Prairie. I think that's good.
I mean, that's fine. Yeah, unless something comes to me in my dreams.
Okay. Let us know if it does.
Yeah.
Let us know if it does.
I will.
So,
I will for sure.
all right. Well, thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed that
Check you later.
ride, that emotional roller coaster. We've got more to come. So I guess, bye-bye.
Bye.